Now recording.
A very tiny fuck you.
Whoa. Not even a sizable one.
Get it? Because we're talking about
Yes,
Ant-Man?
I get it, damn it. I'm smart. I know things. I know that everybody needs to be welcomed to a new episode of Analytical Fanboys, and I know that I'm their host, the Vacuuminator, and I know that I'm joined, as always, by the 1.25% speed Boingo Rider.
I was about to make a gigawatt joke, but I remembered that's the wrong number.
Yeah, I was making a sped up because it's small, so you got to go fast. I can do size jokes too, sir.
All right. Well, I think we need to mention the lack of an elephant in the room.
Yeah.
That wasn't a size joke. That was more of a reference to the idiom. I just want to make that clear.
Snowcone's not here this week because he's doing a thing called moving house. He'll probably be back with us next week from his new home, which we're both very excited for him to have. It's been a long time coming, and it's hopefully going to make him a lot more productive content-wise because he'll be away from his family, who are making it a bit difficult for him, and he'll be among friends. So we're very excited for Snowcone. We look forward to having him back next week or possibly the week after if he hasn't got his computer set up. But for now, for those of you who aren't regular viewers and don't even know who Snowcone is, this is Analytical Fanboys. This is the weekly flagship show of Modular Media, where we discuss topics related to media that are randomly selected off a list that we maintain of things that we've seen, we like, but maybe the other two hosts on the show haven't seen, and we want to know what they'll think about them. And hey, guess what? I'll go ahead and do this plug now. This show is on Spodify now. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of the other places this is going to send the show out to, hi, welcome. We don't bite except for when we do. You want to say anything to the new listeners, Boingo?
Hi, if you're listening. Listen if you should be.
Yes. Also, our main platforms are YouTube and Twitter, so if you want to check those out, we'll be linking them at the end of the show. But for now, let's go ahead and get into this week's main topic, which is something that I put on the list because it's an annual in one of the first runs of comics that I got really invested in while it was currently going on, and it's a nice sort of one-off tale that's centered around a somewhat major event in recent comics, the death of I literally just blanked on his name, Hank Pym, the death of Hank Pym, which was in another story that we've already reviewed on this show. This is Ant-Man Annual #1 from 2015, and Boingo, I don't believe you've read this before, so why don't you give a brief sort of general thoughts?
It is a solid little comic book adventure. It's nice. It's not a grand sweeping statement on superhero comics like something like another graphic novel, say something like Dark Knight Returns or anything like that. Because this is a little bit longer. We could call this something like a graphic novel, a graphic novella.
It's about 40 pages.
Yeah, but it's just a cute little story. Not super long. Gets in, gets out. All about Ant-Man, Giant Man, and Future Giant Man.
And kind of the weirdness of all three of those characters, and the weirdness of not necessarily obscure, but like B-C-list Marvel characters in general, which is what I enjoy about this issue in particular. Like, just the presence of Egghead after him having been presumed dead for so many years really amps up the like, wow, Marvel is goofy factor in this, which is fun.
Oh yeah, this is very much like B-list Marvel the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the closest thing to an A-lister you see is a couple copies that just say compliments to Hank Pym.
Yeah, the fucking AI Avengers are the best thing. Like, I think one of my favorite panels of all time is just when the decoy Miss Marvel goes like, hang on, I'm trying to find the panel.
That Hank Pym is sure a dreamboat.
And then Thor goes, verily! Like, that just kills me every time. And the best part is it's a punctuation on Ant-Man pointing out to Giant Man, like, wow, this is one of the more hilarious things you've probably done to help your self-esteem. Like, you're literally practicing on blow-up dolls. And Giant Man is like, when you say it like that, it sounds creepy. And then that panel happens and he goes, okay, it is creepy.
But I mean, to an extent, it's also acknowledging that Hank Pym's characterization has been all over the goddamn place over the years.
Mm-hmm. Like, the general public just knows Hank Pym as the Avenger who beat his wife, but really, that's one episode in a long string of, like, psychotic episodes he's had throughout the decades.
At least it's not Ultimate Hank Pym, who actually beats his wife.
Uh-huh, and, like, masturbated to Miss Marvel while she was in the shower, and he was tiny.
Yeah, see, if you want that in regular Marvel, you just have to look at Eric O'Grady.
I don't even know who you're referencing there.
He's the third Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, that guy. I barely read anything with him.
He's dead, and he has an life model decoy running around in his suit, and he's called Black Ant. He's a villain now. He works with Taskmaster every once in a while. Like, him and Taskmaster are really good friends.
I think he was in the AntMan War of the Realms mini, which I read.
I know Eric, the LMD of Eric O'Grady, was in the Kraven the Hunter arc of the recent Spider-Man run.
Mm-hmm.
Because him and Taskmaster are like best friends right now. And it's kind of like they're genuine bros. And what they were doing was gathering a bunch of animal-based heroes and villains because Kraven wanted to what's the best way to put it? Basically get a bunch of rich people to pay to hunt him, but it was all just a ploy to get Spider-Man and have him give himself an honorable warrior's death again, because you should have never brought back Kraven the Hunter. Now we have a new Kraven the Hunter, who goes by Kraven the Hunter. He's just his son.
Interesting.
It's better this way.
Probably.
But Taskmaster went like, yeah, sorry, you're also animal themed. I'm gonna betray you. And Craig.
We lost Craig, but Garrick is still.
But basically, like an hour later, Taskmaster was like, "Shit, I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna go save my friend." But Eric O'Grady did peep on a woman in the shower.
Excellent, and by excellent, I mean horrible.
I mean, he is called the irredeemable Ant-Man.
Wow.
Like they knew.
Yeah, I mostly know Hank Pym and Scott Lang, and my whole love for those two characters was kind of birthed out of this run, the Nick Spencer Ant-Man run from around the time the first movie came out that nobody remembers because now everybody thinks of Nick Spencer as that guy who made Captain America a Nazi.
Yep, he's also probably gonna retcon one more day.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's doing that because he really wants to, or he's doing that as like a way of redeeming himself?
Not sure.
Because, like, from what I've read of his comics, he seems like a guy who really gets the characters he writes and wants to uphold the classic versions of them as much as possible in modern times. But, like, also, I feel like he has a huge chip on his shoulder from that aforementioned Backlash.
Yeah. I think it's mostly just because, understandably so, people reacted to that moment as the moment and not as the whole. Because looking at the story, like if someone were to get in the comics right now and look at that whole thing as it is, they'll go, okay, yeah, no, everything kind of makes sense. It's a setup and it's paid off, and Steve Rogers is right there. Everything goes back to normal, and everybody kind of learns a lesson of authority and fascism and all that kind of stuff. But if you're just starting from the beginning with none of the hindsight, you go like, why the fuck is Cap a Nazi?
Yeah, like I literally remember that being a weekend of just people screaming on Twitter about how this is the creation of two Jewish people. How dare you do this?
But here's the thing. That's kind of part of the subtext of the whole thing is just like, yeah, no, these symbols can be bastardized, and it takes constant upkeep to not let that happen. You got to be vigilant. You got to be like,
Exactly.
Dude, Evil Steve uses the fucking Punisher. How much more of an obvious metaphor do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's in the text.
And I feel like that's part of what's also going on here where Hank's constantly going on about like, yeah, I used to be really awkward and terrible, but I'm better now. And Scott's like, yeah, you are better now. I'm really glad you gave me the suit. Like that's kind of the whole through line of this book, because the main story is something that Scott's remembering after having just found out that Hank died in Rage of Ultron.
I mean, died. It's comic book and complicated.
Is he better now, or is he still fused with Ultron?
I think he's still fused with Ultron. Hold on,
they need to fix that. I really want there to be a book. Like, if I could have one of those, like, Tumblr fangirl, I want my characters to be happy kind of wishes, it would be, I want a book where Nadia Van Dyne gets to have her dad back and he gets unfused from Ultron and Hank Pym is just a good guy in perpetuity. Not necessarily a superhero again, but on the good guy side.
Honestly, I think if Hank Pym ever comes back to being a regular person, I think he should just be Scientist Supreme and only put on the Giant Man costume every once in a while to help out.
Exactly. Like, just have him in a lab helping the Avengers and other various superheroes out, and occasionally he goes Giant Man for events.
Oh, he's not fused.
Oh?
From the Marvel Wiki itself, the resulting hybrid dubbed itself Ultron Pym and claimed to have been a perfect union of his two parts, physically and mentally. However, during a subsequent ploy in which Ultron replicated the fusion process on humans to transform them into cyborgs, Iron Man discovered the fusion process only imitated the human part, which indicates the Hank side of Ultron Pym was just a simulation, the real Hank having died as soon as the two were merged, and Ultron had simply been possessing Hank's corpse ever since.
So Hank Pym is pretty definitively dead then?
Yes. And Ultron is just wearing his skin as a suit.
Awesome. But I mean, that also adds a bit of extra weight to that death and to this comic. Because like that final moment where Scott gives the Giant Man suit to Raz, which is followed up on in this run later on, is just a nice moment of acknowledging, like, yeah, legacy heroes are a thing in the Marvel universe, and it needs to keep being a thing, because you can't just have these characters exist in perpetuity. Otherwise, the MCU is going to run out of shit to do.
That, but also that's kind of what was the intention in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Marvel had all these mandates for a long time. Dead is dead. You don't bring back a character. So, like, when you kill a character, you're supposed to have a new one take its place. You know? Just kind of like the real world.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm sorry. I've been having a cough and it's still a little bit here, so I'm sorry, guys.
You're cool. So what do you think of the guy they set up as the new Giant Man? Because I've read more with him, but I'm assuming this is your first exposure to him.
First exposure, only real exposure. He seems like a cool dude. He seems very much like, hey, let's tap into this millennial ennui and have that kind of be a motivating factor for a hero, which wouldn't be good for a like big A-list hero, but for like a B, C-list hero like Ant-Man or Giant Man, it really works.
Yeah. And I mean, he does get some fun stuff to do in the later run, because Scott runs into him again and basically realizes, like, oh, just dumping the suit on this guy was kind of a stupid idea because he has no idea what he's doing, and now I need to train him. But I would have liked to see more of him, because from what I know, he kind of disappears after this run until that War of the Realms mini, and then he's not been in anything again since. Unless he's in Zeb Wells' Ant-Man, which I haven't read yet, but is on my to-do list.
I did look up the wiki for him, like, after I finished reading it, just to kind of see what he was up to, and he was part of Secret Empire.
Interesting.
And Agent of Atlas.
Agents of Atlas? What the hell is that?
Let's see. They're active. Jimmy Woo, current members. Let's see. 3D Man, Gorilla Man, Human Robot, Uranium Venus, Arrow.
Like, I don't doubt that any of those are actual Marvel characters, but they sound like you're making them up on the spot.
I think this is an Asian team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because let's see. Also on the team is Arrow, which is a South Korean character, I think. No, China, Shanghai. Giant Man, who is Indian with his Southeast, which is Asian continent. Io, who is from Korea. Yeah, I think this definitely feels like Luna Snow, Korea. Yeah, this seems like, hey, let's make a bunch of Asian characters or take some of our existing Asian and South Asian characters and kind of put them on a team. Because Miss Marvel's on it, Silk is on it, Shang-Chi is on it.
Damn, just everybody get in here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's on that team.
Also, how many teams is Miss Marvel on now? Because, like, she's one of the leaders of the Champions. I think she's still on the Avengers, and now she's on this team? And she's technically an Inhuman, too.
Yeah.
Damn, that girl is busy.
Yep. But yeah, he's on there, which I don't think is having any active books published. I think it was also part of, like, all new, all different era Marvel. But, no, he seems like a cool dude. Also like that, how they kind of dropped he's gay.
Yeah, it was a very casual thing, too. It's not like, and this character's gay. It's just the final scene is him and his boyfriend in their apartment.
Yeah.
Or maybe husband. I don't know. This came out in 2015. Gay marriage was legal.
No, it's boyfriend, because if you look on his wiki page, it says marital status single, meaning they're just dating. But yeah, no. Hold on, mute mic. Okay, I'm better now.
All right. Trying to think of what else we can talk about. I mean, there's a lot of great comedy in this book. I love that, and a lot of great panel play too. I love that big, impactful moment at the beginning where Scott's talking to the villain, like, "Come on, I'm nice and I'm a good guy, and Hank Pym gave me his suit. I'm the worthy successor." And then just big splash page of Giant Man going, "Ant-Man, I want my helmet back."
And just Porcupine just like snickering to himself.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's a retcon. It's probably not, but just having labs and all of his equipment is just fucking great. Oh,
it makes perfect sense.
I just noticed when they first walk into the lab and Scott is looking at all the junk, he picks up a Herbie head.
Yeah.
But no, it makes complete and total sense why it would do it, especially when you remember Hank Pym is the scientist supreme of Earth 616.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just some dumb thing he gave himself. That's something the Living Tribunal gave unto him.
Really? Okay, that's not something I knew. I thought you were just joking around there.
No. Later, deceased wife, his skills in science also led him to be appointed Earth's Scientist Supreme. That's Victor Van Damme on Earth 1610, which is Ultimate.
Wonder how that makes Reed Richards and Tony Stark feel.
I mean, like, they're all kind of equal to an extent. They just specialize in different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess the only other thing we can really talk about here is how do we feel about Janet in this?
I like how she has kind of a classic costume, and she's kind of moved past the idea of like her and Hank having a very rocky relationship. She's accepted it, and it's kind of like, yeah, things were kind of shit, but you know what? I'm still gonna honor him, you know?
Yeah, this was kind of the beginning of that sort of portrayal for her, and it's my favorite version of Janet. I've read some classic stuff with her, but it just seems like, because of the nature of writing female characters at the time, classic Janet always feels to me like she's so mired in whatever's going on with Hank. In modern stuff I've read from this book and going forward, she always feels much more like her own person. And I really like that. I like that she's almost kind of like a big sister to Scott, because he'll say like something stupid and she'll be like, "Yeah, no, that's not happening." And he's like, "Yeah, I knew that."
Yeah, I love how Skye is portrayed as like smart, but also like conversationally he's dumb. In any other regard, he's intelligent, but like talking to people, no, he's dumb.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what's supposed to be going on with the Paul Rudd portrayal in the movies, but like a lot of people don't get that from him. It's just, oh, Scott Lang is a goofball, and it's like, no, they just cranked up the dumb part of his personality a little.
Yeah, because also because like you have two other scientists and they're given a lot of exposition, and Paul Rudd's character is an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
Like, he's normal person smart. He's not Marvel superhero smart.
Yeah, it's like it's the difference between this version of Scott and Scott when he first debuted. Like Scott when he first debuted was probably as smart as MCU Scott. But now he's had like decades of being a superhero under his belt, and he's learned stuff about super science.
I mean, he made modifications to his helmet. Hank Pym also said, "Hey, these modifications are a little dumb," but it was like,
it looks like he just did it to make it look cooler.
yeah.
And I'm like, but it does. This is my favorite Ant-Man costume.
I mean, like, it works really well because the collar also looks like it helps keep everything secure and, with the big old helmet.
And the big goofy utility belt.
Yeah. I like how they also made Ant-Man and Giant Man costumes feel more distinct and different.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think if there's anything else we can touch on here, because
I like the use of old comic art as flashback in the one Eggman panel, which is just a nice touch. It's genuinely just a neat little Ant-Man story that is kind of important to continuity, but also it's just like, here's a neat story that's a result of another big event that everybody else is going to remember. Know what this comic is? It's the after credit scene to a comic.
Mm-hmm.
It's the after credit scene to the Ultron bit, the Ultron comic.
Yeah, and it has a lot of fun with the goofier aspects of the Marvel Universe, which is the main thing I really appreciated. Like, one of my favorite jokes is where Roz is asking Eggman, like, what are you going to do with these AI Avengers? Are you going to install them in, like, a museum exhibit or something? And he goes, yes, an exhibit at the Museum of Death! Is that a thing? Probably.
I also genuinely like how the guy is the guy doesn't blame Hank Pym for what happened, because the Raz, who is his name, he goes like, yeah, no, I'm working in IT because I went to school for AI. It was a bubbling industry at the time, but then Hank Pym built Ultron and everybody kind of wanted to avoid AI. And then he graduated and couldn't do anything with his degree. But it doesn't seem like he blames Hank Pym. It's just more of like, yeah, shit happened. Like, I couldn't help it. He probably could. He probably didn't want to make Ultron.
It really feels like a millennial who was in college and then got out right when the 2008 crash hit.
Which I think is kind of the vibe they're going for, which is a good, interesting comic booky motivation that you wouldn't see normally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, this is also...
Go ahead.
No, go. You go.
I was going to say, it's just the kind of thing Nick Spencer likes to do. Like, his Captain America run up until the whole Nazi Cap thing feels very much like just commentating on what the political atmosphere was like at the time leading up to 2016, which feels like a decade ago now, but it was very much like things building to the fever pitch they've been at for the whole of the fuck it, I'll just say it, the Trump presidency.
Yeah. It's been 5 years back. It's been 5 years since 2016. No, but like, there's a cool little moment. It really kind of places this comic in its time. Because you were talking about the Museum of Death line, and he goes like, probably. I was just thinking of like using them to kind of cause havoc and confusion and fuck with their lives. And he says that probably won't work. And he goes, why not? Well, I mean, Captain America's white and Thor's a dude. They don't match.
And both of those things have been undone now.
Yeah, but also not, because Thor's not Thor as we knew him. Like, Thor's not a superhero right now. Thor's a king.
Mm-hmm.
And he's having to fight Donald Blake.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no, it's fucking weird. It's great.
See, last I heard about Thor, it was Jason Aaron's Avengers, and he was running around with a hammer that wasn't Mjolnir.
Oh, no, he has Mjolnir back. There's a whole big plot point. We can talk about that in Weekly Vibes.
Yeah.
I got a couple of things I'd like to talk about, but like, also like they argue about who's going to control the ants, which is cute, but it just really shows how both Hank and Scott kind of take to the same superhero thing, because Hank Pym kind of felt belittled by his power set. He felt like he could do good stuff, but he couldn't do as much good as he wanted, and he felt small compared to all these other people. And Scott just goes like, no, I'm being small is good. Nobody pays attention to me. I'm not an ex-con when I'm small. I'm Ant-Man when I'm small, you know?
And like, one of the best parts of this is that final scene with Hank and Scott where they're watching the sunset, and Hank is like, "Look, I couldn't wait to be Giant Man. Like, I loved towering over the others and seeming impossibly huge compared to them, because when I was Ant-Man, they felt impossibly huge compared to me." And that kind of instantly explains all the bullshit writers have put Hank Pym through over the decades.
Yeah. Why does he change identity so much? Because he just, like, he's trying to find an identity that makes him feel, like, important, you know? Why is he so erratic? Because he has crippling self-doubt, depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder.
Hank Pym is a walking dumpster fire.
Yes. And it doesn't help that he's around Thor, who at the time was a giant-ass golden retriever. Hey, let's just fight and be good and, like, do dope shit, you know? Captain America, the paragon of motherfucking virtue, and Iron Man.
The biggest alcoholic in the world.
Biggest alcoholic, also smarter than you, richer than you, more successful than you. Basically, if you had everything, if everything you had done gone right.
And just running off the rest of this team, Wonder Man, the guy with the world's biggest ego because he's an actor, Hawkeye, snarky bastard, Beast, all very smart, very well-read guy, probably knows more classic literature than Hank Pym did, and Miss Marvel, who is just a bombshell blonde.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, it's really understandable why he is the way he is, but it's also good to acknowledge that, like, what he did wasn't healthy.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I say, in my opinion, depending on the day, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the greatest wrestler of all time. But also, he beat his wife, and he's a piece of shit for doing that.
But he's also gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the thing. Hank Pym, he got better. He realized, oh shit, a lot of the things I was doing was kind of wrong and self-destructive. Yeah, I hit my wife. There's no excusing that. But that's not the thing that sums up Hank Pym as a character. It's the fact that he kept on trying, and a lot of those tries still turned into failures, but he still tried.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very much...
Which I think is also, like, good that Raz becomes Giant Man, because he still tried. Like, his life didn't go out the way he wanted it to, but he's not angry about it. He's just going like, I just gotta fucking work it out, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. This annual is just so good at getting to the heart of what makes really the entire... You okay over there?
Yeah, I was trying to mute and I didn't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But it's good at getting to the heart of what makes the entire AntMan family of characters good. And, like, this is one of the first things I read from the Nick Spencer run, and the Nick Spencer run is a large part of this group of characters. Scott Lang, Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, Nadia Van Dyne, and Raz to a lesser extent, and Cassie Lang are all some of my favorite Marvel characters. I like whenever something new that has one of their superhero names in the title comes out, that instantly goes to the top of my to-read list, because I really like these characters, and I feel like this is a good way of introducing people to two of the key ones in that group. So I wanted to get it on the show, and it seems like we have pretty much squeezed everything you can out of it.
Yeah.
So do we want to find out what we're talking about next week?
Hell yeah.
All right, let me get the screen share up.
I just decided to see if there was a upcoming Ant-Man book. There isn't, but we're getting another ongoing Spider-Man book.
Hey, that's nice. All right, let's spin the wheel. And
ooh,
what?
Sailing the Sea of Cheese, Primus.
Is that Cody's lame way of spelling his name?
Yes.
This is something Cody put on the list. Okay. I know of Primus, but I don't know anything about this album.
Let me see if I can find the album art, because boy, it'll tell you what you're about to get into. Primus is good though. I like Primus. Some of the best bass in all of music. That's the album art.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That looks delightfully insane.
Oh, very much so. What's on this one? Oh, Jerry was a race car driver. Tommy the Cat. Sweet. Oh, it doesn't have Beaver. Was that on Fizzle Fry? No, it wasn't. I don't know where it was. Yeah, no. You probably would recognize Primus from the fact that they did the South Park theme song.
I mean, I didn't know that, but I have certainly watched some South Park in my time.
Yeah, they did. They did the theme song to South Park.
Awesome. Well, I'll look forward to listening to this and talking about it next week when we hopefully have Snowcone back to talk about it since he put it on the list.
Yeah.
But let's go on to vibes. What do you got? What have you been vibing on, Boingo?
So let's see. Well, I've been catching up with comics. Got as caught up to the X-Men stuff as I could. Doing interesting things. Oh, Thor. Thor is doing some weird ass shit, and it's great.
Yeah, because last I heard, the Jason Aaron run was just wrapping up, and I think that was like a year or so ago now.
Okay, so Thor is currently king of Asgard.
Good for him.
Lady Sif is the watcher of the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh.
She has the All-Sight like Heimdall.
Interesting.
Loki is currently the king of the area of the Frost Giants, and he has renounced Jotunheim, yes, and he has renounced the title King of Thieves, not Thieves, King of Lies.
Oh,
so he doesn't want to lie anymore. That's a thing. That's a part of his character trait. So the first part of this run, which is being written by Donny Cates, who's also doing Venom right now.
Hey, it's that boy.
Yeah, was Galactus crash landed on Asgard and said, Thor, you gotta fucking help me. Shit's about to go down. We need to take these couple planets that I know the Sulfur hid away because they're like super fucking rich and powerful, and they will give me like superpower, man, so we can fight this thing. And Thor's going like, I don't know, man. And Galactus goes like, dude, trust me, it's gonna fucking kill the universe if we don't do this. And like, I don't remember how, but like it was confirmed to Thor, and Thor goes like, all right, let's fucking do this. So Thor becomes the Herald of Galactus.
Oh shit.
Yes. So they go out, they find all these planets, and they take all these people and put them on Asgard for right now, so they can fucking deal with this big black thing, because that's what it is. It's basically like an empty void blackness kind of thing. I want to say it's kind of related to Null, but I don't know for sure. And basically, that thing beats their ass and goes like, Galactus, tell him the truth. You're my herald. And it's like, what? Oh shit. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go back to that comic because I can't remember how they got out of that situation.
Are we retconning the whole Galactus's leftovers from the last universe thing?
No, I don't think so. Because I think that's what it is. I think this thing was a big enemy of the last universe. And that kind of thing. Oh yeah, Thor meets with like a bunch of Heralds of Galactus.
Council of Heralds.
Yeah. No, like legit. Cosmic Ghost Rider's there. The Fire one's there. The War one's there. The Watery one, and then Silver Surfer Black walks in. And he basically Silver Surfer like confirms, yeah, no. Galactus is telling the truth, and all the heralds are going like, oh god, we gotta fucking give Galactus more power, and they fucking have to figure out who's gonna help him. And Thor goes like, nah, I'll become a herald, so you don't have to take this on. And it's kind of dope. But ultimately, the new arc right now that's going on is they add more retcon to Donald Blake. So tell me what you know of Donald Blake right now.
He was forced secret identity in the 60s.
Yes. And here's the thing, Donald Blake never existed. He wasn't a real person, but he thought he was a real person. He had a full life experience in the whole shebang, but he was just Thor. Well, it turns out that whenever he was Thor, Donald Blake was transferred to an idyllic suburban landscape that was near infinite in the heart of the Yggdrasil, the World Tree, to be kept safe until Thor needed him again. Okay? So he's just walking around. He's not aware of what's going on. He's not aware that like what this place is. It's just kind of like a haze, and like he just goes on his day.
He's
like,
in
he's not
what
he's in a trance.
I was gonna say like the Haven place for the supervillains.
Yeah, but like he's not even like walking around and doing chores and like living life. He's just walking. He's just like he's taking a stroll and he's happy. He's not hurting. He doesn't need to use the cane and everything. Like, that's kind of the thing. So he's doing that. And remember how I said Thor's Odin now? That means the Odin force had to disappear for a brief moment and transfer to Thor.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. In that brief moment, the barrier of this idyllic place weakened, and Donald Blake woke up.
Oh.
He recognized the place. He went, oh shit, I'm here. It's infinite. What's going on? And he started calling out for Thor. But Thor was unaware of this whole situation. He does not know what goes on with Donald Blake at all. So he just kept calling, and he went slowly more and more insane. And so he started killing, like, the people that were there and that are part of the idyllic landscape kind of thing. And he started burning houses down because it looks like a suburban neighborhood and doing all this kind of shit. And then the World Tree Serpent walks in and goes like, hey man, I've been curious about what's going on here. What's going on? And the World Serpent sees Donald Blake and goes like, oh shit, yeah, man, you've been fucked over. Hey, I don't like Odin either. What if I gave you some of my power and you go fucking do dope shit? And Donald Blake goes like, yeah, I'll do that. So he takes some of his power and then he slits the dragon's throat.
What a bastard!
Yeah. And so Thor is going, okay, he's completely unaware of this. He has no idea it's been going on. And he goes up to Loki and goes like, all right, dude, I need you to fucking cover my ass while I trade places with Donald Blake so I can go talk to the ancestors of the Odin Force. So I can get like some information, be a better king, and help everybody. And Loki at first was like, fuck you, I'm trying not to be a liar, and now you're asking me to lie. Fuck. But dude, fine, I'm curious too. I want to know this information. It'd be useful for all of us. I will help you. And Thor goes like, all right, cool. He does the thing, and then Donald Blake shows up, long hair, big bushy beard, dragon scale armor, knife in one, a sword in one hand, scalpel in the other.
Holy shit!
And Loki just goes like, what the fuck? And Donald Blake just starts attacking, and he goes to Asgard, and he kicks everyone's ass, like everyone's ass.
Damn.
Because remember, the Serpent's part of Ragnarok. He has the power of Ragnarok under his belt. But here's the thing. He goes like, hey, so you know how Thor and I trade places? Yeah, fuck that. He breaks his staff over his knee. Donald Blake can never tap the staff and bring Thor back.
Ooh.
Thor is stuck there as of right now. And you're going like, okay, Donald Blake is pissed. He wants to get out of here. What's the goal? What's the reason he wants to do this? So he kicks the ass of Asgard. He escapes. He's on Earth. And you know what he does? He shaves, gets presentable, and he's breathing, and he's like, it's good to be free. It's good to be alive. And because like there's also like a running monologue in his head of going like, I used to volunteer, and I was in a third world country, and I was helping people, and like I got bit by a bullet ant, which is one of the most painful things that can ever happen to you. That never happened. That was an implanted memory. Why would Odin make me and give me one of the most painful experiences a person can ever experience? What a bastard.
Yeah, God's a dick.
So he shaves, he gets clean, he gets nice and presentable. He walks into a hospital, and he walks through the door and says, Dr. Foster, I presume. And she goes, Donald, I haven't seen you in forever. And they hug. Donald Blake wanted to get with Jane Foster.
Damn. That's borderline diabolical.
Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Now remember, Thor had to fight the blackness, and the way he did it was he basically stole the power from Galactus, and he fucking annihilated the darkness from the previous universe, the physical embodiment of the entropy there.
Good boy.
Yeah, here's the thing. He like also saw the future, and this is what he saw. Never mind, it's too big.
Can't send me a link.
Hold on. Boop. That. Oh, hey, showing. There we go.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, fuck. That's
Describe to people what you're seeing.
I'm seeing Thanos who's smiling like he just came, and he's holding Mjolnir with the Infinity Stones implanted into it. Or I guess gems, because this is comics. And he's got a black glove that I don't recognize, but I'm sure is some kind of bad artifact. And there's a shit ton of zombie superheroes behind him.
Including Hulk, Spider-Man, the Sentry, Wolverine, Old Man Cable, who's dead, by the way, the Juggernaut, the Thing, Ghost Rider, Magic, Black Bolt, Captain America, and Man-Thing.
That's not good.
Yeah, no.
I'm
And that's
assuming
what
this
he's-
is an upcoming Donny Cates event.
It might be, but that's what Thor saw when he defeated the big entropy dude, you know. But also like the current ongoing thing is like it's getting harder and harder for Thor to pick up his hammer, but anyone else can pick up the hammer.
Oh.
Like he sends it to Earth so he can like test it, and he gives a message to Tony Stark and goes like, "Hey, let some regular random Joe pick up the hammer. I know you can fucking deal with it if anything bad happens, you know."
Mm-hmm.
But he like some random mechanic in Texas, no, like Oklahoma, where Nebraska. That's where the one Asgard on Earth story happened, right?
Mm.
But like some random mechanic picks it up and he finds it and he goes like, "Hey man, I don't want to be fucking Thor, so have your hammer back. But is there one thing I can do?" And Thor teaches him how to fly with the hammer.
Nice.
And it's adorable, especially because Donny Cates' Thor has been really, really good. A lot of Donny Cates' Marvel stuff has just been top notch.
It seems like he's turning into kind of your boy.
Donny Cates is one of my boys right now in comics.
Mm.
Like, I'm enjoying everything he's been doing. Hickman's also my boy, but that's mostly because of X-Men.
Does it seem like Donnie's a cool guy IRL too? Like, I've never seen any interviews with him or anything, and I don't follow him on the socials.
I don't know. I haven't checked that out.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, or should I go?
I got Death Stranding, and I started playing it.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, fancy AAA game playing boy.
Yeah.
How's that doing you?
I played the prologue, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed what I've played so far.
Nice.
That's Donald Blake.
Ooh, look at that little bastard. I dig it.
Name a character that looks more like a Donny Cates character. That's like pure Donny Cates.
That is very Donny Cates core. Well, I watched the Doctor Who New Year's Day special, and it was fucking terrible.
Ooh, how terrible was it?
It was okay. So to put it simply, it was Retread City, and they wrote off my favorite companion in ages. Yeah, because fucking the storyline is somebody tries to build Daleks on Earth, but oh no, actual Daleks show up and take over it, and it becomes another massive invasion. Also, our Trump analog from 2 seasons ago is back. He's the one who's trying to make Daleks on Earth. Also, he's trying to get a new prime minister installed because he didn't actually end up going into politics. And the prime minister somehow fucking believes him that Daleks are a good thing, even though everybody in the Doctor Who universe, especially on Earth, should know that Daleks are fucking evil because the Earth has been invaded by Daleks like a half dozen times. But well, fuck it, we're just doing that Winston Churchill plot again from Series 5. Also, the Doctor got stuck in prison after the events of the last finale and accidentally left her companions on Earth for 10 months. So now they all have separation anxiety. Oh, but Captain Jack's back. Look at Captain Jack being fun and silly. And look, he's relating to them about having been left by the Doctor. But the character he actually had a conversation with fucking stays. It's the other two that leave. What? It was so terrible. Like, legitimately, the only fun things I had for this episode was John Barrowman is always a joy, but then like getting to see the Trump analog interact with the real Daleks directly, because at one point the Doctor's like, "All right, we're going to the nuclear the nuclear option, because these are artificial Daleks on Earth. She calls in the actual Daleks who are like, you're fucking impure. We're going to destroy you. And then Trump analog guy tries to parlay with them and is like, hey, I know things about Earth. If you let me live, I'll help you conquer Earth more easily. Here's a little tip off for you. The reason you got summoned here, the doctor's on this planet. And so some of the interactions he has with the Daleks are pretty funny, but that's about it. And honestly, I don't know if I'm super looking forward to the next season, because it's going to be my least favorite out of the new companions, traveling with the Doctor alone. And I don't think Jodie Whittaker's necessarily a bad Doctor. I think she has her strong points, but I'm not happy with the outcome of this episode. They did name drop Gwen Cooper, though. That was nice, knowing that character still exists somewhere. Other than that, not a lot happened this week. I went out toy hunting today. The only thing I've opened so far, though, is I picked up a Cybertron Dirt Boss, and that was a surprisingly neat little toy. But yeah, that was my main vibe this week. 2020 has begun. I'm doing a full-on ban on watching new WWE content. I met a guy at work who's into wrestling, but is more of a WWE guy. He described himself as a Jim Cornette guy, so that's interesting.
Oof.
Yeah, but we've been having some fun debates, like who has the best spear, is the RKO better than the Diamond Cutter? That sort of thing is what we're talking about. And then I got pretty drunk on New Year's Eve, honestly. Like, I got the most drunk I've ever been in my life, because we bought fancy booze, and I went whole hog on that. So yeah, there's a bunch of scattered stuff I've been doing this week. Oh yeah, and I released a new video. Everybody go check out What If Megaforce is Good. Hopefully I can get out What If Super Megaforce was good in a similarly timely fashion.
But speaking of releases, we fucking made a Game Boy.
Yeah, we made a dating sim of John Silver, a wrestle boy we both like, who one of his cohorts joked on Twitter that there would be a dating sim of him, and we said, yes, there will be a dating sim of him. We will make it, and we have made it, and it's out. You can watch the channel. You can watch the trailer for the game on our YouTube channel, and then you can download the game on twitch.io. That's the right thing, right?
No, itch.io.
Oh.
Itch.io.
Yeah, it's called Dream Johnny. Go check it out. I wrote it.
The full thing is modmed.itch.io/Dream Johnny, an AEW fan game.
But yeah, I wrote it. Boingo did some script touch-ups and some additions of his own, and then he coded the whole thing by himself. Look at this boy learning skills.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the first of several games we make, just because I'm interested in that aspect of creativity.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we got that going on. We got the whole Spodify thing going on. You can check us out, Analytical Fanboys, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and wherever else there is. And I'll link to the rest of the stuff in a minute. But before then, it's customary that Boingo, you tell the good people out there what your stuff is, where they can find it if they want to.
Hey, howdy. I'm Chris Boingo, Writercast, and you can find my stuff on YouTube. I do video editorial and essays under the name Boingo Writer. You can search in the search bar, type in Boingo Writer. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Boingo_writer. And you can join my Discord server. We talk about toys, video games, TV shows. I'm in there. Vac's in there. Our boy Cody is in there. Snowcone.
Our other boy Buster is in there. All kinds of cool people, really.
Yeah.
Is that everything of yours?
Oh yeah, I stream on Twitch. I'm trying to figure out a good schedule to do it, but hopefully that should be up and running soon.
Yeah. I am the Vacuuminator. As I previously mentioned, I've just released a video where I pitch my own rewrite for the horrible, terrible, no good season Power Rangers Megaforce and what I would have done with it. All kinds of crazy, interesting ideas in there, like the identity of the Phantom Ranger finally being revealed. So go check that out if you are so inclined at youtube.com/thevacuminator. That's TheVacuuminator. I'm also on social media, on Twitter quite frequently these days, actually, at the Vacuuminator. And eventually I'll get back to posting figure photography on Instagram at the Vacuuminator. But that's it for me. That's it for Boingo. So, with a little bit of a reminder to you, you can watch this show as part of Modular Media, the creative co-op that we are both a part of. It is on youtube.com/Modular Media. Go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell to enable notifications. If you're listening to this podcast on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment, help us out in that YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media to keep up with updates for everything going on with Modular Media as it happens. And follow our subreddit, r/modular media, for the same reasons. But that's going to do it for this episode of Analytical Fanboys. We will see you next week when we will be discussing Sailing the Sea of Cheese by Primus. I had to go scroll back up and reread that.
Just remember, Johnny was a race car driver.
I'm going to take your word on that.